Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone, as well as those men that preach and teach the likewise doctrine. No compromises, not mixing it to fix it. Shalom to all the Akim and the few Akwath who may be listening. This is your brother Bataka Yahweh from the GMS camp here in Chicago. I'm coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And, I did a little lesson yesterday, laying backing off what the brother, the elder brother Yakia here in the Chicago camp did, as far as money not being an answer and money not being a way, that people shouldn't be seeking money. Basically, I forgot the title of his lesson, so Salakia on that. But one thing that is relatively new. I'll say about 2 years, 3 years, a little bit longer, maybe 4 or 5, as far as the idea of it and it being around in the mainstream. Actually, maybe even probably like 8 years, but maybe 8 to 10 years. But as far as mainstream, where everybody knows about it, about 4 or 5 years, is this cryptocurrency. And a lot of jakes think that this is the way that they're going to be able to usurp Esau and quote unquote be able to build generational wealth and gain generational wealth. So I'm gonna just read these few little posts that I got right here off of Instagram, and then get some scriptures, and Lord willing, this will be edifying. All right. So basically this guy is somebody who works for a company called Coinbase, which I believe is a company that allows you to trade and also secures cryptocurrency stocks for people who invest. So I'm gonna read. Number 1 says, there is some noise about a disclosure we made in our 10Q today about how we hold crypto assets. TLDR, your funds are safe at Coinbase just as they've always been. Number 2, we have no risk of bankruptcy. However, we included a new risk factor based on an SEC requirement called SAB 12, which is a newly required disclosure for public companies that hold crypto assets for third parties. Number 3, we believe our prime and custody customers have strong legal protections in their terms of service that protects their assets even in a black swan event like this. Before I read the next few statements that he makes, notice the language that he's using. Words like believe, we believe, instead of we guarantee or we know. That's letting you know that this guy is trying to set you up. And as a matter of fact, I was going to wait to get the scriptures, but we're going to get this right now. Let me go back, Salakia. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And see, what people aren't understanding on a massive scale the world over is that we, as citizens of the world, have been under siege for the last 2.5, 3 years. And, we're getting to the point now where things are about to start drying out. And things are about to start not being around no more. As far as things that you thought you would be able to get on a regular basis all the time. Just looking at the news and going to certain stores, there's always signs up telling you that there's a shortage on this or a shortage on that. And, even instances where they limiting customers to purchasing certain things, as well as a price increase on not just extras, but essentials like gas, bread, milk, eggs, etc. And I mean, just for one example, I went to the store the other day and a dozen eggs was $2.19. And I remember 3-4 years ago, you can get a dozen eggs for 75 cents, and it's just jumping up. And really, the last time I bought eggs at that store, the eggs was $1.60 or something like that, and it just jumped up 60 cents in a couple weeks. So, it's going to continue to get worse. And see, you might affiliate an act of war, because the scripture says that even though his words were softer than, or his words were smoother than butter, war was in his heart. People would think of an act of war as something that involves violence or something that involves an overt attack, and in a lot of cases that is true, but putting somebody under siege and starving them out is also a very common practice war tactic, especially in the ancient world when cities were walled off. Armies would just surround you. Even in, like, for example, in the Civil War, when they set up the blockade on the South, that was a siege. They blocked off everything from coming in so that they could starve the people out and make them surrender. Okay, but let's go to the next things that he said, Salakia. All right, this is number 4. For our retail customers, we're taking further steps to update our user terms such that we offer the same protections to those customers in a Black Swan event. We should have had these in place previously, so let me apologize for that. Now that sounds like a genuine statement. That sounds like they want to do better to help people, but the fact of the matter is that it's really already too late for that. A lot of these crypto assets are crashing at the moment, dropping in price substantially, and a lot of people are losing a lot of money. And just like it's quick for people to catch on to a certain asset or a certain trend to try to make money, when things start going bad, everybody's going to jump ship at the same time, and that's what causes tremendous financial collapse. And that's what happened in 1929, I believe, on Black Tuesday, when the stock market crashed during the Great Depression. Everybody basically pulled out of their investments because they found out that it wasn't something that was secure and something that they could believe in, and it caused the entire economy, really the global economy, to crash. Okay. Number 5. The disclosure makes sense in that these legal protections have not been tested in court for crypto assets specifically, and is possible, however unlikely, that a court will decide to consider customer assets as a part of the company in bankruptcy proceedings, even if it harmed consumers. And see, that's what's going to happen. Okay, of course, they got to once again use loaded language and try to make it sound smooth so that you can feel comfortable in the trap that you're in. But it's possible, and it's possible, however unlikely. All right, we all know that Esau's court system, number 1, is ran by the elites of this society. Okay, just like everything else. So if these elites of this society want to break everybody down, which is what they're trying to do, especially financially, because that's one of their main weapons is breaking people down financially, they're going to tell the courts that once these companies declare bankruptcy, all assets go with it, so that everybody got to be broke. And that's how they're going to make people come to them and do the things that they want you to do. All right, to be able to just get your bare necessities, just to be able to eat and live what people would call a comfortable life. You're going to have to do whatever they say whenever they say it, and there's never going to be a stop to it. Now we know that there's that the charagma is the ultimate thing that they're going to want you to do, but just for those who like to play devil's advocate as far as the charagma is concerned, you'd be foolish to think that Esau will just let you get the charagma and then you can go back to living your regular life. Once you plug into what Esau got going on, he got you by the balls, proverbially. You got to do whatever he says to do, or he'll just turn you off. And people are going to believe it's, of course, outside of Brothers in the Truth and some of these people who call themselves truthers that are in the world, not a lot of people are really considering this right now. But when that day comes and people are starving, a lot of people are going to think that, and they're going to give Esau the benefit of the doubt, just like they give Esau the benefit of the doubt when you tell them about it right now. They say things like, why would someone do that? And nobody's that evil, etc., etc. And they're going to end up finding out the hard way, because this Edomite is not here to play fair or make deals with nobody. Once he's got you in a position where you can't do anything except for whatever he wants you to do, he's going to start making you do a lot of things that you thought you would never do. All right. And proof of that is how all these celebrities, when they sign up and make their deals with Esau, the things that they have to do to be able to stay in good standing with the Edomite are heinous and tremendous. All right. In a negative way, as far as when I say tremendous. Number 6, we should have updated our retail terms sooner. and we didn't communicate proactively when this risk disclosure was added. My deepest apologies and a good learning moment for us as we make future changes. All right. So once again, this Edomite's going to speak nicely and he's going to speak smoothly. And, those who are going to get caught in a trap are going to get caught in a trap. All right. It's just how it is. Let me read what this is another page that was basically reposting what this guy Brian was saying. And the page is titled Shit Management Says, because, those of you who have jobs that have worked in working environments, managers will often come and tell you things are going to be a certain way to keep you focused on your job and to keep workers satisfied. And, then when things, they won't tell you certain things are going to happen, and they just let them happen. And then they act like they didn't know when the time comes or whatever. So this is what they got to say. I'm not sure Brian is being fully transparent here. I think he knows whatever consumer protections Coinbase sketched out in a whiteboard will not likely materialize in the event of bankruptcy, and hence the forced rewrite of the fine print to retail. That said, retail should know that crypto anything offers no protection, because that is what happens when you insist on not having any governance, middlemen, accountability, and enforcement. Can have freedom of regulation and expect the protections of regulation. And see, that's one of the big ways that Esau deceived all the people into believing in this crypto, by telling them that the government was not involved. In reality, Esau is involved with everything in his world. The real people who run this society, the international bankers, are involved in everything in this world and own everything in this world, as far as paperwork is concerned, for the most part. If you truly believe that Esau would allow, when he already has you in a trap, all right, this financial system is already a trap, even when cash is being used. As soon as the money was taken off the gold standard, everybody was trapped, especially in the United States. All right. So, if you really believe that Esau is going to allow you to escape his trap by using a form of commerce that he doesn't have control over, you're crazy. All right. These people tax you for everything you do that involves money. You think that they're going to allow you to find a way around that? Absolutely not. Okay. Well, let's get to the scriptures. Let me actually go here. All right, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then evil shall grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And see, even though a lot of times when brothers bring this out as far as the victuals, they'll point to things that are necessities like, food, water, clothes, etc. Just overall prices being low and people thinking that everything is cool because stuff's not that expensive. Now, just because brothers bring that out in that fashion doesn't mean that it just applies to those necessity things like milk, water, food, etc., even though those things are the cornerstones of life. Okay. But, with these cryptos and all of these things that people think are going to secure their future financially and allow them to live a quote unquote wealthy lifestyle, those things can also be considered victuals. All right. Things that would help sustain you. You know what I'm saying? Things that would assist you in living, things that you need to have. And, in this society, you need to have currency and financial stability really to be able to live the life that most of these people want to live. So they thought that because it was cheap to get in, because all of these cryptos, with the exception of, I believe, Bitcoin, and even when Bitcoin first came out, they were all cheap to get started in. It didn't take a lot of money. The barrier to entry was low. Salakia. The barrier to entry was low when getting involved in these ordeals, and that motivated a lot of people to put a lot of their money into it, because they're thinking that the price is so low. If I put a lot of money into this and everybody's saying that it's going to go up, when it goes up, I'm going to have a lot of money on what somebody might call a low risk or a low, like I said, a low barrier to entry. Even if they go all in with their money, if shares are worth 1 cent or half a cent, really all you need is, I mean, you take $1,000 or $2,000 or however much money that you have. A lot of these people went all in on this. So let's say somebody got $10,000 to their name, and they go and they take 7 of that 10,000 and they put it in, or they take 8 of that 10,000 and they put it into the crypto market. And these coins are only worth, these stocks are worth 1 cent. All that has to happen is the stock just got to go up to $1 and you'll be rich. Okay, a millionaire, maybe in the hundreds of millions. I didn't do the math on that or anything, but if you put $7,000 or $10,000 down, whatever $7,000 times 100 is, that's how much money you have if the share just went up to $1. And people are looking at that and they're thinking, well, all it has to do is go up to $1. I really believe that that's a reasonable increase. I'm gonna go all in on it. And this, like I said, is a trap. There's no such thing as an easy way out. There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme in this society. Really, anybody that's rich in this society, for the most part, has to be wicked and has to be willing to do certain things that would go against the scriptures, even if you're not per se like in the industry or one of these Freemasons or something where you are really doing some wild shit. A lot of these people that got money, they've had to fuck people over that was friends of theirs. They've had to double cross people, all type of heinous things, man, in order to get to where they got to and to attain the money, because that's how Esau society is. All right, let me get the next one. Okay. This is the book of Job 12 and 16. This is the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. All right. Now, like I said, Esau has deceived everybody into buying into this. It's a Ponzi scheme. All right. It's just a way for them to get you to put your money into something that they can then turn off and take away all of your money without having to really come and physically do it to you with guns and things like that. They can just trick you into putting all your money into something and then crash it. And they can just tell you, well, you took a gamble and you lost, and you will just have to take it. And it's a lot easier to strip people of their assets like that than just coming with the sword to do it. Even though people will still riot and still get upset when things go wrong, you won't have to deal with those rioting and upsetting behaviors while you're trying to take what you want to take away from the people. Once the money is taken away, people can cry and complain all they want. For the most part, you through. Esau has all the necessities under his control. If you want to eat, if you want to drink, if you want to do this or do that, you're going to have to come to him. And since you don't have no money, he has all the power, quote unquote, to tell you to do whatever he wants you to do to be able to get these things. And those who don't want to deal with him, he'll just kill you. It's not, he don't really, after that point when everybody is at his mercy, if you want to die because you don't want to listen to what he's got to say, it don't fucking matter to him. All right. Next one, and then we can go and close it out. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 13. And it reads, "Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it." All right. Now, the thing is with these cryptos and all these things that you see all these people doing, everybody's trying to find, especially Israelites, because this is really the only people that this applies to. All you heathens, all you Edomites, y'all going into slavery. All right. So nothing I'm saying here applies to any of y'all ass. But as far as you Israelites, man, you always are trying to find a way outside of the Most High to be able to get out of your problems, especially when it comes to dealing with Esau and maneuvering in this world. All right. And this crypto, like I said at the beginning of the lesson, was something that a lot of these niggas was really doubling down on. And this metaverse that they coming up with is another example of that, where you got niggas thinking that they're going to, quote unquote, buy land and all type of stupid ass shit like that in the metaverse, which is basically just a video game. All right. But, leave it to Jake to think they know everything. But at the end of the day, for those of us that are maneuvering out here, trying to do things the right way, first of all, The only investment that's going to pay off in this society from this point forward, and really the only investment that ever would have paid off in this society, because all this money is fake, man. Even when they was on the gold standard, everything in this society is fake. It's a certain level that Jake can get to, and after that, if you're not willing to do certain things, you're not going to move up. And even if you are willing to do certain things, it's still only so high you can go, because at the end of the day, you just a nigga to these people anyway. All right, they're not trying to cut you in on their blessing. They really trying to cut you out of yours. All right, so the only real investment that was ever meant to pan out in this world for Israelites is an investment in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, the scriptures say don't, and this is just roughly paraphrasing. Don't lay lay up your heavens on the earth where they can be corrupted and moth eaten. Lay up your treasures in heaven, where they'll be safe. They'll be guaranteed. Your investment will be guaranteed, and your return will be guaranteed as long as you endure to the end. That's the investment that Jake's supposed to be making. But as you can see, as the scripture says, wide is the gate and broad is the way, and many there be which go in thereat. That's all of these cryptos and all of this shit that's outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's hundreds of millions of stupid ass niggas all over the world, and heathens too, that thought that they was going to hop, skip, and jump over Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai with these cryptos, thinking that they was going to create their own destiny. All right, but like the scripture says, the deceiver and the deceived are his. The Lord been in control of everything since the beginning of everything. All right, you're not going to outsmart the Lord. We ain't nothing but dust and bones, all of us. Even you heathens, dust and bones. It just so happens that us Israelites got favor with the Lord because he chose us. But that doesn't make you smarter than the Lord. That doesn't make you be able to go around what the Lord said you got to do to receive salvation, to receive the kingdom, which is true riches. All right. To receive wisdom, which is true riches. See, all these niggas with these cryptos and these get rich quick metaverse schemes and shit. These are niggas that don't want to humble themselves to the Lord. They want to be their own boss. They want to be the ones that decide what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. And that's why so many of these niggas are running to that, because it's so attractive. It's something for nothing, basically. Like I said, the barrier to entry is extremely low, and they convinced all these people that the payoff is going to be a guarantee and is highly likely, which is false. All right. Very false. The game is rigged. It's just like a casino. The house always wins. People go to the casino, and yeah, you might see, and that's how they get you. You'll see a couple people that strike off that shit, and they may not even necessarily strike off that shit. Esau might have gave them some money in their pocket and then just put out in the media that the reason that they got their money is because they struck off of a certain cryptocurrency or whatever, and that's not even the case, but they said it on TV, so niggas believe it. And that's pretty much what's going on, man. You niggas have been deceived into believing that it's a way for you to be able to circumvent working hard, circumvent bending your knee to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, first and foremost, Salakia. And you niggas just want a quick, lazy way out, and you think that, betting on something that's not even real is going to hedge and put a hedge around you and secure your future, and it's not, all right? All this shit is about to be smoke and fire, and you niggas just don't get it, all right? But as it says, straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. The only way that leadeth unto life is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, doing what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said to do. Getting out here preaching and teaching, if that be your lot. And even if it don't be your lot, you still got to learn, listen, and you got to apply these rules and regulations that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai set in place to the best of your ability, man. You really got to come sincere, and you got to bend the knee and be humble to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai on their terms, not on your terms, all right? Because a lot of these niggas that invested in this, probably some church niggas too, man, thinking that because they go to church and because they say that they following the Lord, that they think they are, that they think they all good, all right? If you following Caesar Borgia and you letting these preachers tell you what it is, man, you're not going through the straight gate, all right? Them churches are full of people. Wide is the way. Slacky, let me just go back up so I can broad is the way, man. Wide is the gate and broad is the way. It's going to be a lot of people that's doing the wrong thing, man. You need to be looking for what people are not doing, because that's the way that you're going to make it. And what people are not doing is bending the knee to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and picking up their cross and following Yahushai. But with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone, as well as those men that preach and teach the likewise doctrine. Shalom to all the Akim and a few Akwath that may be listening. Until next time, this is your brother Batak Allah Yahawada. Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom.